A very good evening to you. It's Sunday, March 5th. This is the CBC Evening News. I'm Sophia Cambridge. In our top story tonight, positive news about the island's export sector. The island continues to see growth in this area, and the disclosure is coming from Commerce Minister Donville Innes.
We've moved from I'm told, about $420 million, $470.9 million in exports in non-traditional sector from in 2015 up to $499.4 million in 2016. And rest assured that that number is also going to grow.
Well, Mr. Innes has also revealed positive developments in the international business sector, which earns $900 million every year.
When I look at the figures of 2016 over 2015, the international business sector, as measured by the Department of International Business in my ministry, recorded a 13.6% increase in the total number of licensed international business entities in Barbados in 2016 over 2015. So tourism is not the only sector that's increasing.
Well, in other news, members of the local disabled community have made another plea for legislation to protect their rights. President of the Barbados Council for the Disabled, Maria Holder Small, raised the issue at a church service marking the council's 40th year in existence this morning. While grateful for the support given to the council's push for legislation on disabled parking, she says further laws are needed which will address areas like building standards and the rights of the disabled in the workplace. Ms. Holder Small says until more of their rights are recognized, they'll continue to agitate for inclusion.
Having been involved in discussions that have led to the development of draft legislation for 4 bills, dealing with the issues that affect persons with disabilities and their inclusion in this society, the Council and its members are still waiting for our policymakers to determine when inclusion matters. In the meantime, for persons with disabilities, inclusion will matter until the proposed Persons with Disabilities Bill, which seeks to give the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities the force of the law in Barbados.
Meanwhile, Social Care Minister Steve Blackett has confirmed that a draft Persons with Disabilities Bill is to be laid in Parliament.
This legislation will facilitate implementation of the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, and it aims to codify in law those rights to which every single person with disabilities is entitled, and to ensure that they are treated according to the international benchmarks. More specifically, the legislation will promote the integration of persons with disabilities into the mainstream of Barbadian life.
In the meanwhile, we're being told tonight about an effort to ensure that the disabled community is included in the island's disaster preparedness plans. Head of the Department of Emergency Management, the DEM, Kerry Hines, says members of the community will be involved in this month's earthquake and tsunami smart activities. Those plans were launched recently at the DEM's headquarters.
This year we are also, for the first time, we are actually going to go to the special needs schools, the Ann Hill and the Irvin Wilson School. In addition to that, we are going to have a discussion with the Barbados Council for the Disabled and persons within the special needs community, sitting down to see how we can tailor our messaging, our programs, so that we include that community going forward.
Well, Ms. Hines has also given an overview of the other activities scheduled for this month.
To the latter half of the month, we are going to have a number of activities. For example, we're going to have on the 25th of March a free movie night at the Glebe Playing Field in St. George, and that starts at 6:30 p.m. We'll be showcasing the film San Andreas, and that again is geared towards heightening the awareness about the earthquake hazard. On the 21st of March, that is the regional exercise Carib Wave, and here in Barbados, what we're going to actually have an evacuation.
An upcoming change in petrol prices will tell you how they've moved just after the break.
racial divide between black and white Barbadians. What's the answer? You'll be surprised to read the views of Olatoye Walren in his book Westminster's Jewel, The Barbados Story. Get this gripping narrative from Cloister, Days Bookstore, The Book Place and the UWI Bookshop. Rated 5-star on Amazon.
Shopping in the Sky is simply delicious at our mouth-watering brand new Sky Food Court. Our amazing spread includes Little Pleasures ice cream, coffee and desserts, authentic Asian cuisine at Waldy's Walk, delectable Greek dining at Opa Express, a range of sumptuous Caribbean dishes at Tamarind of the Islands, and the very best of Bajan cuisine and pastries. Compliments Master Chef Peter Edie and his delightful pastry house and Peter Patties. Plus, we've got the world-renowned fast food giant Burger King. You cannot pass Haggett Hall and not join us for a quick delicious meal for breakfast, lunch and dinner at our brand new food court only at Sky Mall, where when it comes to great fast food there are no limits.
This week on The People's Business, we examine productivity in the Barbados workforce. Call us live at 228-5562 or 228-5563 or email us at talk@cbc.bb to share your questions or comments and to be part of the live discussion. That's this Sunday on The People's Business.
The People's Business, made possible by our partners, Solar Dynamics, the most efficient solar hot water system.
Well, as of midnight tonight, local motorists will have to pay a little less for gasoline, but more for diesel and LPG or bottled gas. According to the Division of Energy, the retail price of gasoline will drop by 2 cents from $2.98 to $2.96 a litre. The price of diesel, however, will increase by 4 cents from $2.17 to $2.21 per litre. The price of kerosene remains unchanged at $1.13 a litre. In the meantime, the new retail price of the 100-pound cylinder of bottled gas will increase by $6 from $6.81 from $147.04 to the new price of $153.85. The 25-pound cylinder will cost $1.70 more, moving to $43.56 from $41.86, while the price of the 22-pound cylinder will be $38.50. That's up from $37. It's an increase of $1.50. The price of the 20-pound cylinder moves from $33.64 to $35, up by $1.36. Local religious groups are being asked to bridge the gap between themselves and their communities. It's coming from the founder of Prayer Warriors, Pastor Courtney Selman, during celebrations to mark the Caribbean Day of Prayer. Pastor Selman warns that opportunities to positively impact communities are often wasted because many churches fail to reach out to those around them who don't happen to be of their own faith.
We need to get off our benches in the churches and get up there in the community. So that's where God instructed us to go. The byways, the highways. Stop warming the benches. Pastors, train your people to go out and minister to the people in the communities. That's where it started.
The celebrations included a march for prayer at the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation, followed by a motorcade passing through a number of communities. And while political leaders in parts of the world make plans to secure their borders through the erection of structures like walls, Pastor Selman is asking Barbadians to erect walls of a different kind.
We need to rebuild some moral walls and spiritual walls in Barbados. What do you say? There's too much crime right now. There's too much drug abuse and people dying young and there's all the things, all these maladies that are happening. Families are torn apart and killing and gun crimes. We need to pray daily, and I'm calling Barbados to pray. It's very important that we rebuild these walls.